Ryan Reynolds throws his kids under a creepy bus yet again, while also declaring himself Satan, and Blake Lively is trying her damnedest to keep her text messages and emails from your eyes. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and this just in, Blake Lively is doing her damnedest to ensure that her messages, her text messages, her emails, all of it, along with 15 other third parties, all that correspondence is delayed a little bit longer. They take their time with it. They see how it goes, even though legally it should all be released by now. We're going to break that down. Before we do, I want to start with Ryan Reynolds, who's back in the news, again, putting his foot in his mouth with these awkward, weird parenting comments. He's being questioned about soft parenting and his kids and yada, yada, yada. Let's get into this. He was at some a Wall Street Journal event or something. I don't know. He keeps doing all these weird events. And he was asked about soft parenting and whether he thinks his resilience and drive gained during his childhood manifested in his dedication to work. And will it be passed down to his children? And he goes, I don't know. It's a worry, God, I'm not effing them up enough. Clearly, like, yeah, I'm already effing them up. But now, like, my dedication, my resilience, as we call it, screaming at people for 6 hours at a time, is that going to F them up even more? Soft parenting is new, right? I didn't have that, says Reynolds. There's not a lot of yelling, or there's not a lot of yelling. It's not a lot of yelling, some, or punishments or anything like that. But I'll tell you something. I really don't believe that you have to be screwed up, effed up to make good stuff. Well, I'd hope not. No, that's definitely not the case. He then goes in and wants his kids to feel safe and wants them in that place of safety. You make great decisions that way. That way, it isn't just fight or flight all the time. You get to be thoughtful and think about everybody in the room, which, I wish Ryan would do more when he's in rooms with Justin Baldoni. Anyway, if I'm making a joke and it involves someone's name, I'm not going to make that. And it will not be in the final product unless I talk to that person. They feel good about it because I don't punch down. So wait, Nice Pool wasn't punching down? You didn't punch down TJ Miller in that story he told on set? Heck, you did it with me. I punched down. I'll admit I was punching down on the Fine Brothers in the React. We did a joke in our last trailer, and you literally told me that was the best joke. So it was. But this idea that you don't punch down, we've all punched down from time to time. Sometimes we're not proud of it. Sometimes people need to be punched down in a weird way. They do. I think people who are up do need to be punched down. It's not always punching down as to people who are on the bottom. I think he's being very disingenuous with what he's saying there because he absolutely has done that. Nice Pool's the best example of it. Give me a break. Just quit lying with this fakeness, dude. Just own it. Anyway, he goes on, continues to talk about, I think my kids feel safe. Are they still like spawns of Satan? Yes. Am I calling myself the Satanist moment? Yes. But they are still kids. So there he is, sort of acknowledging he's effing up his kids. They are the spawns of Satan. They're evil, I guess. And he's kind of acknowledging, yeah, I am too. You got to remember, this is sort of a pattern with Ryan Reynolds. He'll often do this where he'll make this joke, a bad joke. It causes the backlash, and then he's got to clarify. He's done this repeatedly. Here was another one where he faced backlash for punching vasectomy comment about his son on a Seth Meyers appearance. He was talking about his kids and da-da-da-da. We live in a very, there's nothing violent in our home. There's nothing creepy. Always a warning when you have to preface. There's nothing creepy or violent, but Olin came out with these things on his mind. It was violence, boobs, and engines. If I had like 3 boys at first, I would never. There's no way I would give myself a punching vasectomy. Like, there's no way I would allow that to happen. Now, this vasectomy comment didn't land well with a portion of his audience, saying, shouldn't he be grateful to finally have had a boy? It certainly sounds like he didn't want to stop having children until he had one. When you're so insecure that you feel threatened by your own baby son, he's unfairly stereotyping male children, reminding him that all babies have unique personalities. And so, some came to his defense too, but most of them were pretty sort of annoyed with this. He's just constantly doing these inappropriate jokes. Plus, he's putting his own kids in Deadpool Wolverine, saying the most inappropriate things, which they clearly aren't comfortable with, and then going, well, daddy, you'll get somebody else then. Still don't want to do it, and then they come do it, and then they even admit that they said even worse in the outtakes. It's too much, man. We're learning too much, and I don't like it. So there's Ryan, once again putting his foot in his mouth. And now here's Blake, second part of this story. Let's go back a little bit before we get into the latest news. So she originally put this out on the docket. Or sorry, this starts with Wayfair, I got to say. When they put out their motions and stuff, it had a lot of stuff redacted. And they said, look, we don't believe this material should be sealed, especially the extent of Blake's communications with others about her work, with her central demand. But then they even said, look, but yeah, of course, we do it for a week. It should be sealed for a week so the parties can meet, confer, and talk about, any things that should be sealed specifically or redacted, etc. And so Blake Lively then responded yesterday with this sort of response, basically saying, there were 275 exhibits. They were fired still, but not served until after the deadline. It was literally 2 hours after the deadline at midnight, as if she was ready. And those 2 hours at 1 and 2 a.m. caused her to need more time. They were not served upon her, blah, blah, blah. There were more than 100 sealed exhibits that are documents produced by or otherwise involving Lively under the seal of confidence, and including 15 third parties, blah, 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 sanctions, yada, yada, yada. They would like even more time to go through and take their time and do all this. Well, no, Wayfair wasn't having it. They were ready to call her out. Alexander Shapiro, again, just crushing it with the seriousness, stepped up. The Supreme Court, Second Circuit have long held that there is a presumption of immediate public access to judicial documents under both the common law and First Amendment. This presumption is especially strong where the materials are filed in connection with summary judgment. Each passing day may constitute a separate and cognizable infringement of the First Amendment, and long delays in injunction based on the secret documents impede the public's ability to properly monitor all the work of the courts. These are established cases, mind you. As Lively notes, the Wayfair parties have no objection to a 1 week extension, doubling the time allowed under Your Honor's practices. Any further extension is wholly unnecessary and would contravene Second Circuit law. The letter doesn't even acknowledge the clear and binding precedent. She's compelling no reason to depart from it. She complains about reviewing 100 exhibits, including that they were provided to her 2 hours after midnight instead of midnight at the dot. But the documents at issue do not require any detailed analysis. They are not trade secrets or technical documents or customer lists. They are primarily emails and texts for which there is no colorable basis to seal, which is precisely why the Wayfarers have unsealed all of their own comparable materials. Many of these documents should come as no surprise to Lively, as they were used as deposition exhibits and even as the basis for her own pleadings. Moreover, no one can dispute that Lively, who is represented by numerous global law firms, let's not forget that, has numerous lawyers available who are intimately familiar with the facts and could promptly conduct a review. I love that they're throwing that back on her. Nice try, girl. You've literally some of the best lawyers in the business. 2 on each coast. You can't get it through the biggest law firms in the world. Not an excuse. Lively also claimed further extension needed for various third parties, but yet not one of those parties has asserted any need for any further extension themselves, no doubt because no third party has more than 25 documents to review, and most have far fewer. Notably, since the Wayfair parties filed their judgment a week ago, Lively's counsel has made no effort to have any meet and confer concerning the substance of any document that they maintain should or should not be sealed. Whatever the reason for her tactics here, her request for further extensions cannot be squared with Second Circuit court law and should be rejected. I love that they're on it, man. They are not stopping this. They are not messing around. They are just like promptly keeping on this. And it's wild because these aren't secrets. These aren't sensitive. There's no reason to hide them. Why are you trying to hide them, Lively? And also the 15 third parties. Let's not forget about that as well. Who are these other people? She's not just trying to protect herself. She's hiding potentially agents, PR firms, celebrities, crew, staff, important stuff that we all deserve to see. 15 people is a lot. She doesn't get to just keep holding on and figuring out longer ways to sort of keep it from the public. And here's one other thing I want to point out. Whatever the reason for the dilatory tactics, her request cannot be squared in the law. Judges hate dilatory tactics. She's stalling. Don't let her is basically what that means. Do not let her keep stalling. It's nuts how they keep pulling this off. I don't know how they're getting away with this. And again, this whole thing's connected between the parenting style and everything else. These guys just expect to get whatever they want. They can, it's always a safe space for the kids, even when they're talking about D jokes to their minor children. They put all this out there, emotional mindfulness, but this family is in the midst of, and let's not forget, a $400 million lawsuit, PR crisis, alleged extortion ties, deposition chaos, motion fights, NDAs, ceiling fights, etc. There's a lot more to this man who declares himself Satan willingly in interviews, and we deserve to see it all. So I hope we will. We are going to keep you posted the best we can, so make sure you've hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up as well, and let us know in the comments down below. Also, we will be live a little bit later today at around 6 p.m. Eastern. There's the link. Join us for Miss Universe tonight. The chaos and controversies are going to be crazy. My whole family's going to be there. I hope you'll tune in tonight and have fun with us later.